Hello, I'm Robin Haley, and I'm in charge of Alan Carr's worldwide clinic network. I've personally helped thousands of smokers to quit. I chose this profession because I was a chain smoker for years. I really wanted to stop, but I couldn't. After countless failed attempts, I tried Alan Carr's method. It worked, it was easy, I've never missed it, and I've been a happy non-smoker ever since. We have here a group of people representing a wide range of smokers, and you'll see them from time to time, illustrating certain points as we go through the DVD. Stopping smoking is in fact easy. You just have to use the right method. You don't need willpower, you don't have to go through any trauma, you don't need to put on weight. Just relax, it's going to be fun. All you have to do is watch this DVD in one sitting with an open mind, concentrate and follow the instructions. Make sure you're not going to be disturbed, turn off the telephone and remove any distractions. Make yourself comfortable, relax. Do you feel like having a cigarette? If so, go ahead. If you smoke roll-ups, cigars or a pipe, or chew or suck tobacco products, or take nicotine in any form, the same applies. Everything I'm about to tell you is true for all products which contain nicotine, and one of the great advantages of Easy Way is that you can continue to smoke while going through the process of stopping. By the end, you'll be happy to put out your final cigarette and become a non-smoker. Imagine for a moment this scene.
Look, this prison is not good for your health. Your wife and children are very worried about you. Just be sensible and get out of this place.
That doctor is clearly talking nonsense. But didn't he sound rather like a doctor trying to persuade a smoker to stop? Don't worry, I won't be using shock tactics. They don't work. Smokers aren't stupid. You know it's killing you and costing you a fortune. You've been told that often enough. It makes you want to stop, but it doesn't help you to do it. Does dieting make food less precious? No, more so. Also, stress makes you want to smoke. Tell a smoker it's killing them, the first thing they'll reach for is a cigarette. What the prisoner needs is not a lecture in the obvious, but the key to his prison. Smokers are in exactly the same position, and Alan Carr's method is the key. You feel trapped. You know you should stop, but that doesn't help you do it. Cigarettes are controlling your life. You feel like a slave. These are all reasons for stopping, but you don't smoke for the reasons you shouldn't smoke. You smoke for the reasons you do smoke. Once you realize that the reasons you smoke are illusions, then stopping will be easy. Of course, you could argue that whereas the prisoner in the cell has no choice, smokers choose to smoke. But do they? When did you choose to become a smoker? Do you choose to remain a smoker? Presumably not, since you're watching this. In fact, the vast majority of smokers admit they would rather be non-smokers, which means they're not choosing to smoke. Smoking is an addiction, which denies freedom of choice. It enslaves the addict. The trap works in a similar way to a pitcher plant, which feeds off flying insects. The plant gives off a scent which the insect finds irresistible. The inside of the plant is coated with a delicious nectar, which the insect consumes. A combination of gravity and the lie of the hairs on the plant's surface ensure that the insect travels in one direction only, downwards, towards a pool of juices where other insects have already met their death. This doesn't bother the insect. After all, it has wings and can fly off whenever it wants to. However, the nectar is sticky and clings to its legs and wings, and by the time it's had its fill, it weighs twice as much. The more the insect struggles, the more trapped it becomes. The sides of the plant become steeper and steeper. The result is inevitable. You could argue that it chose to eat the nectar. No one forced it to. But did it choose to become trapped? Of course not. At what stage was the insect trapped? When it found it couldn't escape? No. That's just when it realized it was trapped. It was trapped from the moment it smelled the nectar. From that point on, it was being controlled by the plant and had no choice but to respond to its instincts. The pitcher plant is one of nature's ingenious confidence tricks, but it's nothing like as clever as the nicotine trap. No matter what stage you descend to, the nicotine trap makes you want to continue smoking, despite the fact that you also want to stop. No smoker chooses to smoke. We may have chosen to smoke the first experimental cigarettes, but nobody actually decides to become a smoker for life. We're lured into the trap and don't even realize we're hooked until we try to get free. All smokers hope their children won't start, which means they wish they hadn't started themselves. If you've ever made an attempt to quit, you're continuing to smoke not out of choice, but because that attempt failed. Given the choice, smokers would rather be non-smokers. So what's stopping them?
I can't enjoy a drink without a cigarette.
I get really uptight when I can't smoke.
I can't imagine enjoying a meal without a cigarette.
I panic if I'm running low on cigarettes.
I can't relax at a social occasion without a cigarette.
I need a cigarette to help me cope with the stresses and strains of life.
But whenever I've tried to stop, I've been miserable and irritable, and I can't concentrate.
I once stopped for 3 months, but the craving didn't go, and I know an ex-smoker who quit 5 years ago and is still dying for a cigarette. I'm afraid I'll suffer the craving for the rest of my life.
You do want to stop, but you think it's going to be hard and are afraid of failure. After all, you haven't succeeded yet. Perhaps you've already tried many times using nicotine substitutes like patches or gum, or acupuncture, hypnosis, or just plain willpower. But nothing seems to work. You may be convinced that it's got to be difficult, and may even be impossible. But that's only because you've gone about it the wrong way. If you try to stop without understanding why you smoke, then no matter how determined you are, your chances of succeeding are very slim indeed. So why do you smoke?
I need a cigarette to cope with stress.
I enjoy a cigarette when I'm relaxing.
It helps me concentrate.
It relieves boredom.
I like the taste.
I like the smell.
It's a social prop.
It's stylish and cool.
I like the ritual.
It's something to do with my hands.
It's oral satisfaction.
I like inhaling the smoke.
It's a crutch.
It's a pleasure.
It's company, a friend.
I feel miserable without cigarettes.
It's just a habit.
I've got an addictive personality.
I'm a nicotine addict.
I don't know.
If there are so many advantages to smoking, why do smokers want to stop?
It's bad for my health.
It's costing me a fortune.
It's filthy and disgusting.
It's controlling my life.
Bad breath.
The smell of my hair and clothes.
It's antisocial.
It's making me lethargic.
It's a bad example to my children.
Stained fingers.
Stained teeth.
Coughing and wheezing.
Lack of self-respect.
Slavery.